Hey guys, my name is Bernetta, and thank you so much, Candace and Warren, for inviting me on your platform to talk to your audience about my natural hair experience and how it's been. Again, my name is Bernetta Knighten, and I am the creator of BernettaStyle.com, where I talk about motherhood, marriage, and motivation. So let me tell you about my natural hair journey. I have been natural for 10 plus years. My daughter was born in 2007, and that was the last time I got a relaxer. So let me tell you about how I came to making the decision to go natural. And if I'm completely honest, before I decided to become natural, one of the things that I noticed was the hair of older women. And that was at church. Every time I went to church, you know how you sit in the pews, and in front of me, different Sundays, I would have older women sitting in front of me, and we call them like the mothers of the church. And the one thing that I saw was a constant was I kept seeing their scalp. They wore their hair and they wasn't wearing a wig. All their hair, I saw a scalp. And all these women had perms. And I kept thinking, like, is that my future? Is that my future? Like, if I continue to get perms and my hair is going to get so thin that, you'll see my scalp. And I'm like, I don't want that. And at the time in 2007, there were a few people going natural, but not a whole bunch of people. But some of the people that were, I started to watch them in their hair, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to stop getting a relaxer. I want to do it, and I'm just going to jump in and not do it. And I thought that the perfect time was when I did get pregnant with my daughter, because, your hair grows at like twice the rate when you're pregnant. So I'm like, I got pregnant. Well, I got my last perm in February of 2007 and found out I was pregnant in March. So I just never got a touch up, and I just decided to never get another relaxer. And my hair did grow. The cool thing is, when I first decided to go natural, I did not do the big chop. I ended up doing a big chop a couple of years later. I actually have done 3 big chops in this natural hair journey. But when I first went natural, I didn't do a big chop. I just continued actually to go to the Dominicans and get my hair straightened. And every time I went, I let them clip a little bit more off. So when I finally got all my relaxed hair clipped off, oh my gosh, and I wetted and I had my little afro and I decided to go to work, that was like a life-changing day for me. Because before, like I said, I decided, I'm not gonna get a perm no more. But it took a while for the natural hair to grow out, because I still wasn't doing like wet and goes, because when you were relaxed, you still were having a stringy hair. But the day the relaxer was cut out and I went to work, and I worked in a call center at the time, that was the day I never forget, because I worked in a call center, so it was a lot of cubicles. And I remember getting off the elevator with my little fro. It was a little fro. And I'm like, oh my God. Because even though I was like natural before, like I said, I was wearing it straight because I was going to the Dominicans. But this day, I walked off the elevator and I walked through the doors, and I didn't look at anybody. I just walked down the hall to my little cubicle. But what I saw on my peripheral was people heads popping up like, is that Bernetta? I heard whispers. I didn't hear, yes, girl, do it. Yes, look at that fro. Like I said, it was 2007. So a lot of people still wasn't ready to jump on that journey. And it was more kind of like, what the, oh my God. But I held my head up high, and I walked on with my little fro and sat at my desk. And one of the questions that they wanted me to ask was, how did I feel after I went natural? Well, after I had all the perm cut out and wore my hair regular for the first time, I felt powerful. I felt powerful. Like, I don't care what anybody thinks. If they like it or not, I like it. It's my hair. And I felt free. And it was just really empowering. And like I said, since 2007, it's been an interesting journey. I've learned a lot about hair. And I think when you started to take care of your hair, for me, and I know a lot of other naturals, and you start doing more research and putting only natural stuff in your hair, somehow you want to put natural stuff on your skin. Somehow you want to put natural stuff in your body. Like, I don't want to put chemicals on my hair. I don't want to put heat. But then you start, it goes to your whole body. So I think me going natural, even though I thought I was healthy, I think I'm an epitome of health all these years later, just because I wanted to be healthy here. So it just trickled down. How did I feel afterward in various stages of growth? Like I said, throughout my time on this natural hair journey, I big chopped 3 times, because like I said, when I finally cut off all the perm, my hair grew, and it grew long, and then I big chopped it. again, and then well, I big chopped it down to a teeny tiny fro, and then it grew out some more. Then I had another baby, and with the third, my first two kids, my hair didn't shed at all afterwards, but the third baby, I don't know if it was the mixture of me having the third baby mixed with me getting diagnosed with autoimmune disease, but my hair changed. Like, I would have a fro, but you could still see through the fro. Like, my hair got so thin. Like I said, I don't know if it was and it was like shortly after I stopped breastfeeding the third baby. But then I wasn't diagnosed with the autoimmune disease for like a year later, 2 years later. But anyway, my hair was not in a good state, so I had to chop it off again. And then a few years later, I chopped it off again. So where am I at right now? These are crochet twists. And one thing I like about, whether you're natural or you're relaxed, is the versatility that we as Black women do with our hair. But I said after my last chop, I'm just going to let my hair grow, because the truth is I like my hair, and I did the short hair look. Now I want my thick, long hair back. So that's where I'm in the process of growing my hair back. One thing that I like about the various stages and like about being natural is the thickness. The thickness you can achieve with the thickness that you have with your natural hair. I just never had that thickness with the relaxed hair. Like when you do a nice twist out and you just got that full look, I never had that with my natural hair. I will say you can do versatile styles whether you have relaxed hair or you have natural hair, so can't say that. But the natural styles that you do with your natural hair are so creative and so, I don't know, just different. I just love when I see my other natural sisters and all the styles they do without adding a bit of hair. And they're just beautiful, just beautiful. So I like the versatility. I like how you can achieve different looks, whether you want to twist out, you want to wet and go, you want to braid it to the back, or, however. So I think that's really it, like various stages of growth. Like I said, I've been long, I've been short, I've been in between. Right now, my hair is in between. Would I ever go back to a relaxer? Not at this point. I think I'm completely fine, especially with all the new technology with crochet. They have now crochet, because I don't wear sew-ins. I had one before, and it was really pretty, but when I took it out, it just took and I didn't even have it in long, but it just took a lot of my hair out. So I'm like, I'm good with that. So I do like crochet, and I get that from time to time. But it's like with all the hair, they even have crochet now with straight hair. So with all the hairstyles and other stuff you can do to add to get the look you want, a temporary look, I personally don't feel like I need to get another relaxer. So that is one of the best decisions I've ever made personally for me. My daughter, she is 11, and of course she's never had a relaxer. She has went through the stage of when we used to go to the beauty supply to get things, seeing the little girls on the perm boxes and always want her hair straight or want it like that. Like, why could I never, get that? I'm like, you don't need it. You don't know how beautiful your hair is. And she does get her hair straightened once a year or whenever she gets her ends clipped. And oh my gosh, she doesn't want to wet it. She breaks her neck. But she's also has grown to love her natural hair. So just wanted to share my natural hair journey. It is a journey that's ever evolving, as you know, and ever changing. There are always new products coming out. A lot of people that I know during their natural hair journey have started to make their own hair products, which is also a great thing. So if you have any questions about my journey, I'd be more than willing to share. I have no regrets for stopping relaxers, no regrets whatsoever. And especially when I first went natural, I don't want to say I was a natural hair Nazi, but I was like, you want to go natural? Let me tell you, you should. Are you going natural? I was just telling everybody, you should go natural, you should go natural. And everybody went natural. So now it's like I definitely know more natural, or have more friends that are natural than are not. Like the tide has definitely turned. And people still get weaves. They still do their sew-ins and still do their thing, not being whatever. But it's just that you're not putting that chemical. And I'm not even gonna get into that. But they just decide not to put that chemical on their scalp, and because what it can do to the body, and on and on. So that's my natural hair journey. I'm excited to hear yours. And one more thing. You know what? I was gonna talk about like that support. I feel that when I went natural, some people say people didn't support them. I don't really feel I ever had that. Like even my husband, maybe because he gradually saw me cut my hair, but I always feel like I had the support of my friends, you know, and my family. I didn't really worry about what outsiders say, or coworkers or somebody I just might know. But the people that were close to me, I always felt that they had my back, and, you know, that they supported me. Okay, except the one day I came home, and I didn't tell my husband I was going to cut my hair, because he didn't want me to cut my hair, and I was ready to cut it. I was tired, like, I need to cut, I need to start over. So that was the day, that was the only time I felt I wasn't supported, because me and my husband talked, he's like, no, babe, I really want you to cut your hair. I really don't want you to cut your hair. And then on my lunch break, and we had talked about it for months, but I was ready. This is my hair. I know you don't want, and I do want to make you happy, but I also got to make me happy. And I wasn't happy at that time with my hair. And I felt I needed to cut it. I wanted to start fresh. And so on my lunch break, I went to like a Supercuts or something, and I cut it. Like, my hair was, you know, out here. And I went to Supercuts, and I cut it all off. Okay? Came back on my lunch break. Even my coworkers were like, are you okay? And then when I went home, oh my gosh, I was trying to get my family's reaction on tape, but everybody turned and looked, and my husband looked at me with such disgust. More not disgust because of the way the hair looked, but more like disappointment. Like, did you just do that? You know, even my daughter was like, Mommy, and my other kids, even my mom, she was like, are you depressed? Are you going through something? But we made it through. So that was like the only down part, and I think that was more because me and my husband talked about it, and he wasn't prepared. But he quickly got over it. My hair grew back. Then I cut it again. So it's just hair. It's just hair.